But there's one last thing I want to ask you about before we take off today, and that is your role at the state level. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but I want you to tell us what recently happened, and because we need consumers to have an accurate view of this industry, which is exactly what you're doing at the state level, is it not?
Well, yes. Again, one of the reasons that I love serving in leadership is because I believe in our profession. I believe in what we do. And I'm sure if you have had to hear about the NAR lawsuit, the commission that actually started in Missouri.
And it's been in several states now.
It's been in several states as of last night. Hello, it's in California.
Yeah, I mean, of course, 40 million people, 250,000 agents. It's like a big blue ocean to sue, isn't it?
Right, yeah, yes. But we do have our attorneys in California are extraordinary.
Yeah.
And they were they were prepared for this because they knew after they were successful in Missouri.
The nice thing is about California having more regulation than a lot of states is the California Association of Realtors contracts already aligned with these California consumer protection regulations, and so we should be in a pretty good position. But I don't know. That's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is what the lawsuits are coming after is how much it's the way the wording is about a commission. What I want you to tell us is, what does that commission really do? Like, what does it go toward? What is the realtor doing to earn that commission? And is that the best thing for the client versus an open door or versus a mega low price listing company?
Well, first of all, the compensation that we received, you get a human being. Right.
That's true.
It's not your phone. You get a human being who's
not an app.
No, it's not an app who gives you the personal touch. And we do the marketing. We have a marketing department and great people like who's behind the camera, Michael, who personalizes things for you. The phone could do a lot of things, but I wouldn't rely on the phone to sell my house.
Right.
And then all of the education, part of the for the compensation I received, I'm always reinvesting in myself.
Yeah.
And in my leadership, and in my learning, and in my education. So that.
And why is that good for the client?
It's good for the client because you're aware the risk, the financial risk. I love attending risk management seminars because one thing that you could do wrong could put your client in jeopardy.
Yep.
Every week, 2 or 3 times a week, I'm networking with other realtors because we learn from each other.
Yeah.
But to serve on our Santa Clarita Division Committee, we learn. I serve on government affairs, learn about legislation.
Now that's in the Valley too, right?
And in the Valley as well.
Yeah.
So I serve on both. That's
a lot of commitments.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important.
Yeah, I do too.
To give back, and also to be trained.
Yeah.
I also have.
This is one of the ways you're staying hyper educated in the industry. Where if someone doesn't do this for a living and they come in, they don't have the years of education behind them to help guide you through these massive transactions.
And by John, I'm not in any means saying I know it all, because our industry does change. But if and many times it happens, if there's something I don't know, I do know someone I can call.
Yeah.
In a high level. So I also serve at NAR on federal finance. So I'm a member of National Association of Realtors Federal Finance Committee. And so things that happen on the federal level. At CAR, in addition to being the chair of communications, I also serve on home ownership, housing, and taxation and government finance. Wow. Because it's business, right? It's business. So, and I've been a part, and I haven't said it, I really got started in all this leadership from Women's Council of Realtors.
Yeah, awesome. Great organization. My
first year, someone asked me to be a membership director. I said, of what? I don't understand. But it's just been a journey. I've also I've completed a National Leadership Academy, a National Leadership Institute. I've been district vice president a couple of times.
Awesome.
Local president, Santa Clarita. So all of these things and the connections that you make and the
Yeah.
people. If there's somebody in another state, like I said,
Yep.
I have referrals to people who will take care of the clients the way I would want them to be
Yeah, you
taken
can hold
care
them
of.
accountable.
Yeah, and throughout the nation.
Yeah,
We get
right.
calls all the time saying, who do you know here? Who do you
Yep.
know there?
Because that's what you want is a good, solid referral.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I love about the way you do business, and this is not everybody in business operates this way, but if you do business the way you're doing it on a residential real estate transaction, there's not a winner and a loser. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not a competition. Everybody can win. The seller can sell at a fair price, net what they want to net or what the market dictates they should net. The buyer can buy at a fair price. They can both be represented. Everybody can be protected. That is a lot different than a normal business transaction. I think that's something that realtors bring that larger companies are never going to be able to bring, that win-win kind of aspect to the transaction.
That's a good point. Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what you're doing.
Well, thank you. And not only that, I've had people sometimes say, why would I want to join Women's Council of Realtors? That's just my competition. I have never, ever felt in competition with any of the realtors
Yeah.
that I know, especially in the organizations and the network we're doing. I've never felt that.
Yeah.
I think anything, like you're saying, it's a win-win. We help each other. We're friends. And we always try to we mastermind, brainstorm.
Yeah.
What would you do in this situation? And that's invaluable.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the success that I have been blessed with is because I have people in all aspects and all areas and different levels of leadership that I can call and just ask their opinion.
I love it.
Sometimes people don't even answer the phone in other situations, but I'm really blessed that I can have the ear of people who advise
when
me.
they see you, they'll answer.
Boom.
Well, listen, if you need someone to represent you in a transaction who has a ton of experience, a ton of education continuing, is savvy, and you said it about yourself, but I was going to say is an amazing problem solver, able to look at all these unique situations and solve the problems that are going to create a win-win situation in a real estate transaction, you got to call Renee.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
thanks for your time. I mean, we got to go over a little bit extra, but like I said, I love geeking out on this stuff with you. So
Oh, thank you. And thank you for being a great mentor in the beginning to me as well. In California leasing, there's none like him.
thank you very much.
Trust me, there's none like him. In Santa Clarita, he's the only person to make sure if you're renting a home to call John.
Thanks, Renee.
Great staff.
Well, this has been a very long but super fun episode of This Week in Santa Clarita Real Estate.